Hey there, guys. Craig Lewis here. Second video for second album of Disturbed. 20 years of Disturbed. Celebrating 2 decades of Disturbed here. So looking forward to doing this next video on their second album, Believe, which I'll show it to you right now. Yeah, Believe here was put out in 2002, September 17th of 2002. They recorded the album in Chicago, in their hometown, at Groove Master Studios, which was the studios that they were, uh, that was their main studio. And their producer back for the first two albums was Johnny K. Um, so, but yeah, I remember getting this album, and I'll talk more about the cover art, later on in the video here. But here it is. This is their second album, and that symbol there I'll kind of get into later on too. Uh, but I jotted down some notes here as I went through each track. I listened to the album uh, earlier tonight, or late this well, yeah, earlier tonight. So I'll go through each track, but uh, really excited to do this one because this, their first album, The Sickness, was pretty raw, emotional wise, and just in your and just totally, out of the gate, just raw. And I'm glad, it's cool that to hear them come out in that first album, The Sickness, to just full out raw mode. But in the second album here, Believe, they seem to want to switch gears based on the events at that time. I know 9/11 had happened in 2001, and so to 2002 they started to record Believe, which they recorded it from um, March and April of 2002. They recorded the album and then put it out, like I said, September 17th of 2002. So here we go, guys. I'll get started on the track listing here, and add any more facts as I go along. I jotted down some notes here. Um, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, the album of Believe focuses heavily on religious and spiritual themes, inspired by recent tragedies, like I mentioned, 9/11. Um, and David Draymond, grandfather, had passed around that time as well. So David Draymond had said he a lot of some of the content and the lyrical content on the album was based on the tragedies. So um, and the album and the music has a greater emphasis on melodic dynamics, broadening their musical range, as opposed to the first album. So let's see. In this album was the last album that the original bassist Steve Fuzz K-Mac was on, because he was on The Sickness. I mean, he's the original member, and he was on The Sickness and also Believe. And then he had to be let go in 2003. So that's pretty much kind of the facts of the album. I pretty much jotted down. Anything else? Actually, there's a few more things I had written down here, but yeah, Believe debuted at number one on the U.S. Billboard 200 first during the first week, and it was Disturbed's first number one debut album, selling over uh, 284,000 copies in its first week of sales. It was certified platinum, actually certified double platinum, in the U.S. on September 23rd, 2008, about 6 years later. Three singles that were released from this album were the prayer, or not the prayer, prayer, remember, and liberate. So I'll get into the album here. Um, so you guys, okay. So track one starts out with prayer, and it's heavy out of the gate. Great way to start out an album. I remember hearing the album for the first time, um, and the way they started out with prayer, just really out of the gate like that, super strong. So, um, like I said, they tackled more of religious subject matter in this album. Um, David Draymond's powerful delivery is incredible on the track, and Mike Wengren, the drummer, has got a lot of good machine gun sounding drums, just real, pounding and just fast and fast paced. So that's prayer. Good way to start the album out. Track two is Liberate, and I remember hearing the track for the first time. I was, it's a hard hitting, fast paced. Um, you know, just kind of it just gets you right off the get go. So, um, and just yeah, just the lyrics in there, are pretty, hard hitting as well, and kind of, I'm just liking where they went with that. Track three, Awaken. Um, just it's a kind of like a slap in the face, like just to wake up, awaken. Um, Fuzz, Steve Kamac's bass, and Mike Wengren's drums fusing together as one in the track. I like a lot. It is like a wake up call, like a slap in the face. It's like wake the f up. um, Very melodic, very powerful melodies, and also a very strong ending to Awaken, as in all their tracks on the song on the album. Um, so pretty darn excited to listen back to this album. Um, so we go on to track four is Believe, and I like the subject matter in the album. Like I said, more religious, spiritual, um, and going in a different direction. Especially around the tragedy of 9/11, and just to renew your faith in God, release your life. I mean, this is it's a lyric from the song "Release Your Life, Sacrifice to Me." All your belief melodies are off the charts in this one. Um, so great song. Track five, Remember. Hard hitter out of the gate. Again, David's vocals soar to heights that are unimaginable. Um, Band is so tight on the track. Um, I remember listening to the album in my car in 2003. I mean, it came out in 2002, but I don't think I got it till maybe late 2002. I had gotten my copy at Best Buy out in Roseville again. Around that time I was shopping a lot in Roseville. And it was at Best Buy, and I remember seeing the album on the shelf and seeing the cover art, the cover logo of on the cover, and seeing that star in the middle of the logo, and kind of not really knowing what that was about. But I'll get more into that as at the end of the video here. But I did want to get the album because I had gotten the sickness, and like I said, 2002, and I was looking forward to hearing their second album, and I wasn't I was just blown away by it. So that was somewhere on track five, Remember. So I listened to it in my car in 2003. Are some of my great memories with this album, and just mesmerized by it, and loving it. And David's vocals just explode in it. Ending sequence in the song is incredible as always. Um, and just love where David takes the song at the with his vocals. So we'll move on to track 6, Intoxication. Again, energy off the charts to start the song out. A few lyrics from the song. It's to vilify all I love, to sanctify all I hate. So I like David Draymond writes a lot of the songs, or most of them. He did it early on. So I like where David goes on the lyrics as well. So Intoxication, yeah, is just a great song. Try to move on to track 7, Rise. Um, awesome opening drums from Mike Wengren. Um, let's see, yeah, drums in throughout the track is incredible. Um, let's see, along with Fuzz's bass, you know, Mike and Fuzz work really good together um, in the percussion and bass section. Um, just really tight together. Mike's hi hat work on his hi hats are just incredible. Kind of almost like hearing like a splash of a big wave in the ocean. Kind of reminds me of when he hits those hi hats. Again, Fuzz's bass super powerful in spots. Um, just adding a lot to that. Adding a lot to this track on Rise, track 7. Um, let's see. Yeah, this song I can kind of feel myself carrying a torch. um, when I listen to it, makes me want to pick up a flaming flaming torch and just pillage throughout the town. But so that track 7 is Rise. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. So we'll move on here. Let's see, guys. Yeah, let's see. We'll move on to track 8, Mistress. This track is on point. Um, vocals are awesome, incredible. Disturbs like a well-oiled machine, firing on all cylinders. Some of the lyrics in the song: "Look at what you've done to me. You have become my enemy." Man, I love that. Love that line. So yeah, strong as hell with 3 exclamation points. So Mistress, great track. Remember hearing that for the first time in my car. Blew me away. Move on to track 9 here, Breathe, which I got to remind myself to do all the time. This is my gem on the album. Like I'd mentioned in my the Sickness video, that Conflict, track 9 on Sickness, Conflict was kind of my gem on the album. Where on this album, track 9 here is Breathe. It's funny how that's track 9, just like Conflict was, but like I said, I felt a strong connection to it. First time I listened, from the first listen. I like a lot of I like a lot of the breakdowns in the song. Fuzz's bass leads into quite an assault throughout the track. Let's see. Yeah, the outro, the ending of the song, the outro to end the song out, I always felt was razor sharp. With the I don't know what kind of sound effect they use at the end, if that's some kind of electronic that Dan Donegan, the great guitar player, he also adds in some electronic effects in there. So I think the way he ends it out is just like razor sharp. Like I said, it almost sounds like a razor blade ending out the song. So yeah, that's probably my favorite track on the album, is Breathe. So we'll move on to track 10, Bound. It's a raging start to the song, a full-out assault. It just rocks to the nth degree. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's see. So it does. I feel bound. In a lot of my life that I've been felt like I've been bound. So listening to this song again kind of brings back stuff from the past and kind of what I've been going through. So I'm kind of hearing this song in a new light as well as I did with Conflict. Um, so another strong ending to the song. They always end the song. They always end their songs out just like super strong. Um, so that's let's see, that's Bound. Yeah, track 10. So yes, we'll move on here. Um, I can find my other. Uh, Here we go. Sorry about that pause, you guys. So track 11 is Devour. Great guitar intro from Dan. Very melodic. As I said, that this album is very melodic with vocals and instrumentation. Um, yeah, it feels in the song Devour. I feel like the band takes me in, feeling the feeling of being devoured, which is, to have someone to actually have the name of the song called Devour and then have the makes you feel like you're being devoured is pretty damn sweet. So again, like I said, I feel like I'm carrying that burning torch, and I will always carry that torch till my dying day with Disturbed and my love for them, and you know. So I got my torch in the air for you guys always. My torch in the air. Um, and there's a lyric in there where it says, "Take all the pain away," and that's I can totally relate. So strong song, very strong. I feel like they have taken a lot of my pain away with the awesomeness of their music. Great ending sequence as usual. Finishes super strong. And to end the album out, "The Darkness" is track 12. Not the darkness, darkness. It's a beautiful way to end out an album. Um, First time the band had went to a somber acoustic ballad, um, but I think it really shows the vulnerability and the deep grief inside, and for them to display that in a somber acoustic ballad and really hits on all cylinders with that, and really just hits just as hard as their hard hitting stuff. Um, I feel every note of it. It hits my heart and soul to the core. So great way to end the album out. Darkness. Kudos to you guys on that one too. I just love the album from top to bottom. I mean, you guys, top to bottom, I just love it to death. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get back um, to the cover art or the cover logo on the CD here. So I'll get back to that, you guys, um, and then I'll end it out here because I'm going on almost on 18 minutes here. So you can probably end up being about 20 minutes, but I'll get back to the cover art. Um, so like I said, when I got the album, or when I was at Best Buy in Roseville, I had looked at the album on the shelf, and I saw that cover art there, and I didn't really know what that symbol meant at first. I saw the cross in the middle, which and then I had seen the Star of David. So those two symbols I really connected with, but then there was two other symbols in there that I wasn't really thinking about, but or I was kind of scared about, I should say. But I guess the logo is a combination of, like I said, four um, religious emblems. Like I said, first being the Jewish Star of David, um, and then the Christian cross, the Wiccan star. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's the star in the middle. Around the star in the middle there. I don't really know what that stands for. And then the Islamic crescent moon emblem. But the combination of these symbols was meant to represent unity, and that's what I love about the whole thing. Is it was meant to represent unity, and these guys, I love them to death, and I always will. Um, so that's pretty much about it, you guys, on Believe. Um, I'm really happy to go back and listen to it today, and I did my homework on it this time. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Look forward to doing their third album here coming up, 10,000 Fists. Actually, I'll probably do an album before that because they did do an album in 2004, Music as a Weapon 2. And I mean, they were on there with some other um, artists, but they were on tour with, because they toured under the tour name of Music as a Weapon. And that was a kind of like a CD put out based on the tour. Then so it's some tracks from Disturbed and some from like Chevelle, but I'll probably do that one next. But hope you enjoyed the Believe video. You all hang in there, and I enjoyed doing this one a lot. Great listening to the album again, and um, going back in time. So love you guys. God, I'm going on 21 minutes here. So take care. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Peace. See ya.